Hello and welcome to the Ivan Show. I'm Ivan Tukundani. Today's episode, I bring you the CEO Balunywa Foundation, Professor Waswa Balunywa. Under his foundation is having a leadership academy, and we are going to take a deep dive on matters pertaining leadership. As we have seen, all of us in Africa, East Africa and Uganda, we have leadership crisis. But in his view, he thinks that good mentorship from the foundation can give us better leaders in the future. Professor Waswa Balunywa, welcome to the show, and thank you for allowing me to
Thank you very much.
I'm glad that I'm hosting someone who is going to give a solution to the crisis we are having now. About your foundation, about your leadership academy, how do you come to have this idea of mentoring young people into good leaders?
Okay, I have been in the university. I was in the university for a long time. I joined the university in 1983, and issue to deal with the youth really captured my attention. I realized that young people do not, they come into the university, they get their degree, and they go out, go to work. Not all of them succeed. Many of them fail. And I realized then that one of the key things that was missing in the country was stand of leadership. So while I was at MUBS, I introduced a degree in leadership and governance, an undergraduate degree, and I also introduced a master's degree. And the essence here was to train young people and others, because I realized that when the NRM came to power, they opened up the political space. I mean, you had all these resistance councils, so many of them. It had never been done before. Elections, so much of it. Nobody had done it. So you now have so many people coming into leadership without knowledge. So I decided to recommend, and we started the degree in leadership and governance, both undergraduate and a master's degree. And I also encouraged research in the doctoral studies in leadership and governance. Why? Because I realized that it is leadership that actually gets things done. And I also realized that our colonial governments did not give us opportunity to study business and leadership. So if you notice that business is a very recent subject in Uganda, and leadership is very, very recent. So realizing that there was a gap between what we require to have in the country and what there was, I thought starting those programs would be part of the solution. But I did not stop there. I went ahead to also open a leadership center within Makerere University Business School. I don't want to go a lot into MUBS. I'm finished with it. I mean, I left it, but this center was intended to cause an interaction between the world of work, business leaders, political leaders, religious leaders, and the academia. So the center would run conferences to bring these different people together to have a dialogue on leadership. And so it did very well, it's done very well. I think maybe held over 13 conferences, I think, possibly holding the 14th one this year or something like that. But the essence was to try and get people to study leadership, understand it, go out there and provide the necessary leadership in the country. Because it is leadership that must create the change that we want to see in the country.
No, Professor, in your view, what makes a good leader?
Okay, I was getting to the reason why we go to the academy. I interacted with young leaders so much in the guild, and I realized I had a problem. MUBS trains its guild leaders when they take authority, but that is not sufficient. So I thought that's important for me to spend time with the young people and really tell them what leadership is, so that they can be, when they go out into the field, they can make a mark. So an effective leader, a leader who, I don't want to use the word good or bad, because Hitler was a very effective leader, but he caused the death of 6 million people. So the idea, the objective was bad, but the fact that he was able to influence people to do something effectively, he was an effective leader. But so the academy opens as a result of the need to have more time with young people, especially those who have been in leadership, nurture them, expose them to more knowledge in leadership so that they can go out there and start on that journey of leadership. So an effective leader is one who listens to people, very important, understands people's needs, because leadership is never about you, it's about other people. And somebody who is able to uplift those who are not yet there. Interestingly, there are people who don't, they're not there yet, but they lift others, as long as they see leadership as the key aspect in the transformation process.
At what age or at what stage should someone embrace mentorship?
Well, our educational system should be able to bring leadership early, and they do. I mean, you have elections in schools. But what are these young people getting into? At that stage, during that period, they should have exposure to role models, to heroes of this world, this country, of this world, so that they know Martin Luther King was a good leader. What did he stand for? Nelson Mandela was a good leader. What did he stand for? These as role models will, at that stage during the elections in even primary school, the young people start understanding the importance of leadership. So to me, I think at any level, once we talk about leadership, there should be mentorship of those people so that they can be able to lead effectively.
Professor, you have been a leader.
Yes.
Because being a teacher for close to 30 years,
yes.
you have been a leader. Yes. I want to understand how you respond to feedback and criticism from people you are leading.
It's not easy. Criticism is never easy, not on anybody, I must tell you. In leadership, where there's a concept that is being developed, it's called radical candor. Radical candor is giving sincere feedback to people, criticizing people with feeling. Radical, but with candor, with a good feeling. Feedback is not easy to get, especially if it is not good, but it's very important to get. Because whenever you get criticized, whenever you get feedback, you know that I will not do that again. You move on. So it's very important for you to get feedback from people about how well or how not so well you're performing. Then you are able to improve. But naturally, it's just natural. Who wants to be criticized? But we make mistakes, so we should be able to accept and say, I made a mistake, I should be advised. Let somebody tell me how well I'm doing it. I mean, it's like asking you, what are your weaknesses? You may tell me I don't have any. But ask somebody, somebody will tell you you have all these weaknesses, but you don't want to hear that. But a good leader should be able to listen to criticism in whatever way. Try and get it from wherever it is. Try and get it. But the important point is that this criticism should come in good faith. After I left MOOBS, I was criticized, ridiculed, abused. It was not called for, and when you try to find out the mistakes I made, well,
you are not worth the abuses and criticism you received.
No. But it's good feedback to know that those are the issues on which they hold me accountable. That has given me good feedback to know that maybe I didn't do that well. Okay. But what is important about criticism, it should come in good faith with an intention of improving. I mean, it's like performance evaluation. You evaluate a staff in the organization. Why? You want this to find out what the challenges are, so that you can arrange possibly a training or an advisory on how they can improve their performance. So criticism is not easy, but we must take it.
Professor, this point of criticism and feedback is very, very important in leadership.
It is.
And
yes.
when you look at our country leaders, Uganda, if we can focus on the national issues, do you think our leaders have digested the feedback from the public with an eye of concern to improve or act effectively on the issues raised?
I think the challenge we have is our political parties. Politicians go to be elected by the ordinary people. These are where the problems are. So when they are elected, these people should pick up these issues and take them at the party level, so that these issues form the basis of an election manifesto. Okay? So if the would-be, the wanna-be MPs and district councillors are not picking up the issues, then the issues are going to come up the way they have come up in Kenya. They come up in the street because you didn't pick those issues. You didn't listen to those people. And on the other hand, I don't blame the politicians entirely. Even we, the voters, have a problem. I mean, when somebody gives us money, we forget about issues. I know.
We focus on what is available now.
Yeah, what's available now. I mean, you have seen this. I've also heard it. A politician comes and gives soap and sugar and things, and is elected. The issues in the village, in the community, have not been identified. You'll see on social media, I've seen numerous schools. Some have got, just wood, others in water, others have got this sanja. Really, should we have such schools today in this country? What is that area MP doing? If he was elected, he should have put this into the party system, so the party can take a responsibility of making sure that the problems here are solved.
You see, those MPs also have issues at the party level.
Yeah.
I think they are saying there is no adequate democracy, and I don't know how an MP can go to improve schools in the villages. For him, he can speak.
The MP is not the one to improve schools. You see, a political party has an ideology. That ideology is, in very brief terms, government will do, private sector should do. Government should own the schools, private sector should own the schools. In this country, it's very important that government has a say in the school system. Now, first of all, is the leader aware that his responsibility to pick this information? That's why I'm talking about the Leadership Academy.
Yes.
To create this awareness, because they are not aware. How many LC3 chairpersons are aware of the fact that they are the ones responsible of identifying challenges in the LC3 area? Now, the party at that LC3 level should be able, whoever the chairman is, because you're talking about democracy, it should be whoever has been elected chairperson of the party at that level should go to find out what are the problems of the area, in education, in roads, in health, those areas where government has a say in the transformation of the lives of people. These people will then take this information to the district level. The district level will take the information to the national level. Is that happening? No. Why? They're not aware.
When you look at our leaders,
Yes.
the leaders responsible for taking action
Yes.
are somehow lenient with people who are with the leaders who are misbehaving.
Yes.
When it comes to corruption, if I can speak it that way. How do you expect ordinary citizens to get fair grounds to accountability and other things when the topmost leader is somehow lenient with people do?
No. I want to agree that President Museveni is lenient. He's a reconciliatory person. You know? Today he's shooting with you in the bush, the next day you're on the desk talking. That is him. He has got that heart, that spirit of talking. I mean, of resolving problems amicably. And he has had a problem. If you, who he was shooting with in the bush, become corrupt, he has a problem. Because in this country, if you dismiss me, you've not dismissed me, you've dismissed everybody from Iganga. You know? It's a very big problem. If you remember, just put in context, when at that time Besigye was going to be sanctioned, what happened? His people came. So it was not about Besigye, it was about that group of whom he represents. So to some extent, that's okay, but it has a problem. Because what did the president do? He forgave Besigye. You know?
Amnesty.
Yeah.
Presidential pardon.
Yeah, these are the issues you're looking at. And at that level, maybe you require that. At that level, you require it. But to me, I'm saying, because you've talked about lack of democracy, I'm saying that is not right. The democracy should start from the grassroots.
That's what we are doing in your academy.
In the academy, I'm trying to teach the young people to understand that if there are national issues, they are local. You know, people will tell you about the Buganda question. How about the Karamoja question?
How about the Ankole question?
Ankole question. I mean, so can we know? Can we as leaders know the problems that we have in our society at the lowest level? You know, what does this village need? For instance, right now, here where we are, the place is growing so fast. They need schools. People have come to me and said, can we have a nursery school? That's a need. You know? Can we have we are tired of taking children to Kampala. Can we have a secondary school, a good one? That's a need. So the local leaders should pick up these issues from the public by calling meetings to say, what are our problems? But they don't do it. And don't blame them on one hand, because they've entered politics without understanding ideology, without understanding processes of how issues are discussed and brought on the table. The government of Uganda has a cabinet. That cabinet brings the issues of a political party that has won the election into parliament and into the cabinet. So it is a representation of the issues that have come through. If they don't come through, nobody will know.
We are with Professor Waswa Balunywa here at his home, and we are going to have different backgrounds. Right now we are seated here, but we are heading to where the training of young leaders is happening now. And we are going to have more of discussion to see the challenges he has faced, the achievements, and probably maybe the recommendations and what he hopes to get from these young people. There is a Leadership Academy near where we are recording from, and that's where we are heading to summarize and complete our
Maybe
show.
yes, the academy has two locations. One is in Iganga, and you should come there and see, especially when they're studying. I mean, they have a routine. They're up by 5, and you know.
Given an invite, I'm available,
yes,
Professor.
Yes. I'll invite you. Now, this one is a really short term. The particular group here requested to come over because they know I have people who can teach them in leadership. So this is what happens here. All kinds of groups come here, and you know, they use a facility, and we're focusing on leadership, on entrepreneurship, and how can we talk about socio-economic transformation.
Shortly, let us go to the Leadership Academy and we conclude our discussion.
I came here in 1993. I was looking for the lake view, I'm attracted to water, and but I can't swim.
Hey, but you enjoy nature.
I enjoy nature, yes.
Are you not worried that you are going to be evicted as well because currently we have wetland?
No.
Yeah.
My wetland is safe out down there. You must leave 200 meters, I think, from the lake to where you are.
Oh.
But true, I border with the lake, but it's safe. Though I know some people who have been building in the wetland. But I came here, and my idea was to have a home, a countryside home, and also a research and training center.
Okay.
So the research and training center, I've spent my career teaching business, and especially the subject of change. And as you'll notice that change is something introduced by leaders.
Yes.
If you want to transform, the word transformation is change. We want our people to get out of poverty into life that is, enjoys a high standard of living. That's transformation, that's change.
Yes.
So you realize that this can only be done if you've got good leaders. You know? So that's where my interest came from. So we've used this center for training many people, NRM people been here.
Do you train opposition as well? Or you focus?
They don't come to me. They don't come to me. We even have a Chiveginja house here.
Okay.
Yeah. Courtesy the president.
Oh.
Yes.
Cuts of the president.
Yes.
Oh. You see, I can see you are what? You are a veteran.
Yeah. I mean, me and the president is we
You are good friends.
Yes, we have a lot of commonality issues between us, and I mean he is a magnetic person, by the way.
He attracts people.
He attracts people, and like I told you, he's very conciliatory. But don't drive him the wrong way.
For the viewer watching us, we are heading to the Leadership Academy. Don't worry and don't ask why we are moving now. You are telling us.
Yeah, so we decided to do this as a training center. It's not. The peculiar thing about this place is the green.
I have seen you like nature.
Yeah, it's the green part. Not sophisticated beauty, but I mean, when you look at the beauty of the green,
Personally, I'm impressed because we have fresh air.
Oh yes, very much so.
I'm really impressed.
Very much so.
But do you see, are you achieving your objectives of why you started this center?
Yes. I mean, now, stand here a minute and listen to that lady who is speaking. She's a trainee. I mean, I can go and sleep knowing she's going to deliver.
How do you manage it financially? Because you need some finances.
I have put in money, of course. I ran out of it. But friends have given me some money.
Oh.
Patrick Utature gave me some money. He actually funded many activities in MOBS when I was there. He's very generous. And some other people don't want to mention their names.
For privacy.
Yeah, for privacy, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But if you have some money, please give it to us.
Professor.
We are not a profit organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the viewers, I'm telling you, you have arrived at the training center where mentorship is, and the professor has mentored a lot of people, where by now they are helping him in training other young people. So he's comfortable that now he can go and sleep and good work is being done.
Yes.
I think we can join the class and we have them in the background. We see the people who are being trained, then we complete our discussion. Okay, we want to understand one, the challenges you are facing when mentoring and upbringing these people. Two, the achievements you feel that you have, made. Then three, what you are hoping to get.
Well, first of all,
And
I want to
we can-
introduce to you this group.
Yes.
This is a group of leaders from the Makerere University Muslim Students Association. They came to me that they have a new team and they wanted a venue and some guidance on leadership. So we are here. You talk to the leaders at some stage, and we're telling them, sharing with them what leadership is, what they need to do as young people to be able to be of influence and of impact. The challenges you get with this type of mentoring is that and this is for your benefit also, that the young people are usually not ready. And they have prejudices. If you find somebody who is an RM, he's prejudiced. If somebody who is a noob, they have that prejudice. And to me, it's because we've not understood the problems that the country has. The problems, and for your benefit, African countries have is not their leaders, but is because of 4 things. 1, slave trade, which dehumanized you, making you feel that whenever you see a white man, he's superior to you. 2 is colonialism. You are aware that in 1884, the Europeans sat in Germany and distributed Africa to themselves. Can you imagine the audacity to sit there and say, this is your country, that is your country? Why were we not able to respond? You know? So they colonized us, and the essence of colonization is go and take the raw materials from them, okay? And sell them whatever you can sell to them. So we thought we would get over this through independence. But at independence, a new concept developed, neo-colonialism. While they went away, the companies remained. The European countries sat around and distributed Africa among themselves. The important point to note here is that you are unable to respond. Then when you realize that this is colonialism, you go to say, can we get independence? And when you got independence, what changed? The leader changed, but not the system. So you have banks which are foreign, you have insurance companies which are foreign, you have all those bottlers are foreign. They are not owned by you. And it's not easy for you to fight that. So that's why I don't believe when people say African leaders are bad, they are not bad. They have emerged as leaders because they have that capacity, but they are captured by the global system.
Professor, you have a training academy.
Yes.
Do you have jobs to give to these young people after training them?
After making them aware,
Yes.
the jobs will be created. Where are the jobs? The jobs are here. When the multinational companies come and take our coffee, which we have not processed, they process it abroad. Where is the job? It's abroad.
It's abroad.
They take your raw materials, your minerals. Where are the jobs going? They are abroad.
Abroad.
That is the problem.
It drives me to a question
Yes.
of labor exportation.
Yes.
How do you examine that? Because we are seeing a lot of young people are heading to European countries, Arab countries.
Yes, there is a problem in the country, a problem of illiteracy. Today, there are 2.2 million people who enter P1, and less than 1 million go to finish P7. The rest drop out. About 1.2 million people drop out. 50% of them are girls. They're at the age of 14, 15. What happens to a girl when she's 14, 15 and is not in school? Gets married. And in our system where our values have changed, they go trading centers and they get children. By the time they are 28, they have 4 children, they are even grandmothers. Now you, who has gone through the university, by the time you are 22, you have no child. You're even thinking whether I should have a child or not. So there is phenomenal growth in population of people without education. So without education, they cannot even create their own jobs. Okay? So what happens? You have too many people. By the way, I have many children. Both my biological and adopted children, they are very many. But I have educated them. So as young people, as young leaders of the future, it's very important for you to know that we must put everybody in school, at least to the age of 18. When a girl is 18, she has a capacity to take some decision about how many children to have. But when she's 13, 14, she becomes pregnant, and the next year is pregnant, and they are not delivering babies, they're delivering poverty.
What outstanding achievements do you take pride in since inception of this Leadership Academy?
The creation of people who are alert, who can also train, and people who are aware. Many people now understand the problems that we face as a country, as Africa faces, and they are not the type who will now go to the street, because you will not solve a problem in the street. I'll tell you, however much people go to in Kenya, they will not solve the problems of unemployment until such time as we address the structural issues I'm talking about. Get people in school at a certain level, make sure the jobs that are going outside the country remain here.
Where do you see your Leadership Academy in 10 years to come?
Oh, huge. I see this transform into, we have several academies. I think the best one is in South Africa, but they don't do as much as we do now. We don't have money, but by the way, if any of you wants to join the academy, please talk to Rania. Go and see what happens there. But what we see, of course, the biggest constraint is funding, but we'll get the funding. But I see the demand tremendous. It's just that they don't have the money. I see this transform into some kind of a leadership school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Professor. Your parting shots to the viewer as we wind up our discussion.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the young people who came here. This is the Association of Muslim Students in Makerere. They knew there is a leadership center here, so they came, a Leadership Academy. They came, and we are sharing knowledge with them. And if you have somebody who has finished his university degree, send them to us to train them into leadership and other issues. If you are working the type, we have an online program, 6 weeks online, again, to give you the knowledge that you require to be able to join the world of work. Because what you know today is solid and has nothing to do with your job. So what we try to do is give you that knowledge that gets you into the workplace with the basic things that you need to be able to work there. So we want to thank you, and we want to thank the audience who will be listening to this, seeing this, and come and work with us so that we can improve the country. This country will improve only if we train leaders. Unfortunately, the thousands of leaders in this country, in the LC system, everywhere, are not trained. So there are many things that are missing out there. So we need to train leaders if we're going to make a change in the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your wonderful time. And the lovely viewer following the discussion, thank you so much. I'm Ivan Tukundani, and this is The Ivan Show.